For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover the untold secrets of our world. Let the journey begin now. D.B. Cooper. The man, the mystery, the legend. D.B. Cooper is not just a name. He is a symbol of one of the greatest enigmas in American criminal history. On November 24, 1971, this mysterious man boarded an airplane under a false name, claimed he carried a bomb, and just a few hours later escaped with $200,000, parachuting from a Boeing 727. From that moment on, he vanished without a trace. No body, no evidence, no clarity. The Cooper case did not merely shock the world. It became a cultural phenomenon. Investigations, theories, books, and documentaries have all tried to shed light on the mystery. Yet the question, who is D.B. Cooper, still hangs over history like the smoke from one of his 8 cigarettes. D.B. Cooper remains the most elusive criminal in the history of American aviation. To this day, his identity is unknown, and his name stands as a symbol of a perfectly planned heist, carried out with a coolness and intelligence bordering on genius. The hijacking of Flight 305 on November 24, 1971, the eve of Thanksgiving. A well-dressed man with a ticket under the name Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305, a short domestic flight from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. Wearing a suit, a tie, and dark sunglasses, he looked like any other business traveler, calm, composed, polite. After takeoff, the man handed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. At first, she thought it was a flirtation, but when Cooper quietly urged her to read it, the nightmare began. The note read, "I have a bomb. I am sitting next to you. I will tell you what I want." He then opened his briefcase and showed its contents. Several cylindrical objects resembling dynamite, connected with wires and batteries. Cooper dictated his demands coldly but without aggression, with complete determination. He required $200,000 in cash, in used bills with low serial numbers for parachutes, 2 main and 2 reserve, the plane fully refueled for a long flight after the passengers were released after several tense hours. The plane landed in Seattle, where the authorities, under pressure, fulfilled all of Cooper's demands. He kept the crew on board, but released the 36 passengers once the money and parachutes were delivered. Then he gave instructions. The pilots were to take off again and head south toward Mexico, maintaining a low altitude, about 10,000 feet, with the rear stairway lowered and the plane at minimum speed so that he could jump. What followed would become one of the most discussed mysteries in criminal history. D.B. Cooper vanished into the stormy night somewhere over the forests of Washington state, parachuting into darkness, and was never seen again. The jump and disappearance of D.B. Cooper at about 8:13 p.m. that evening, as the Boeing 727 flew at an altitude of around 10,000 feet over southern Washington. D.B. Cooper lowered the rear stairway and leapt into the night. The jump took place under dangerous conditions, a storm and strong winds, making the feat even more mysterious and difficult to accomplish. The parachute and the money Cooper carried disappeared with him. No trace, no witnesses, no clear landing site. The hijacking was executed with flawless planning. Cooper managed to leave behind no evidence of his whereabouts. The FBI and the military, supported by volunteers, launched a massive search of the area for months, but to no avail. The rugged forests and remote terrain gave no sign of him. No evidence of his death or survival was ever found, further complicating the investigation. Only in 1980 did a boy discover decaying bills on the bank of the Columbia River, bills whose serial numbers matched the ransom money given to Cooper. Yet this discovery shed no real light on his fate. Instead, it deepened the mystery. D.B. Cooper remains a ghost in the history of criminology. Whether he died that night or escaped to a new life remains unknown. The secrets of this singular skyjacking still fascinate and confound mystery lovers around the world. The investigation suspects, clues, and theories. D.B. Cooper remains one of the greatest unsolved criminals in U.S. history, and the investigation into his skyjacking is unmatched in length and scale. From the very beginning, the FBI launched one of the longest and most expensive inquiries in the history of American law enforcement. Despite countless theories, suspects, and leads, no one has ever uncovered Cooper's identity or fate. Suspects and investigations over the years. Investigators considered several suspects who might have been responsible for the hijacking. Some drew attention due to similar characteristics or suspicious behavior, but none could ever be tied to the case with sufficient evidence. Among the most discussed suspects were Richard McCoy, committed a nearly identical hijacking just months after Cooper's. He became a prime suspect once it was found he had used the same techniques. However, he was ruled out, as there was conclusive proof he had been elsewhere at the time of Cooper's crime. Kenneth Christensen, a former paratrooper and aircraft mechanic. Christensen is one of the most famous Cooper candidates. He died in 1994, but reportedly hinted before his death at a connection to the crime. While he never openly confessed, vague suggestions from those close to him fueled speculation. William Gossett, a Vietnam veteran with parachuting skills and legal knowledge. Obsessed with the case, Gossett possessed the expertise to commit such a crime. Although no evidence linked him directly to Cooper, his deep interest raised suspicion. Theories about Cooper's fate. After decades of investigation, countless theories remain about what happened to D.B. Cooper's death during the jump. The harsh weather, lack of experience, and dangerous conditions may have doomed him. No body was ever found, leading many to believe he perished in the wilderness. Escape with a new identity. Others believe Cooper survived and started a new life under a false name, perhaps in Mexico or Canada. Some theorize he lived quietly as an undocumented immigrant, forever evading justice. Closure of the case in 2016, after 45 years of active investigation. The FBI officially closed its search for D.B. Cooper. Still, the case remains open, ended in the public imagination with many unanswered questions. Only time may reveal whether the mystery will ever be solved, or whether it will remain one of the greatest unsolved crimes of the 20th century. D.B. Cooper left behind not just a crime, but a legend. He vanished as he appeared, quietly, elegantly, and forever. The FBI may have closed its file, but the public imagination keeps it open. Did he survive? Did he live a new life under another name? Or did he vanish into the stormy night, somewhere above the forests of Washington state? We may never know. But one thing is certain: D.B. Cooper has become a myth, proof that sometimes truth is more elusive than fiction.